Hello everybody. So this is a video that I am filming, kind of just chatting with you more about my experience with 2022 in my small business and my plans for 2023. I feel like I did not catch you guys up a lot on what was happening last year. It was just kind of a weird, busy year for me, but I'm gonna make some changes to that and just make a lot more content. So I kind of made a list of some things that happened in 2022 that were pros and cons and some plans for 2023. So first of all, one big thing I noticed about myself in 2022 is I did not really talk about my accomplishments or things that I've been doing, or really just putting myself out there. There's a person that I look up to a lot, and this person runs like multi-million-dollar candle business, and I talked to them and they told me that I need to put myself out there more and just really talk more about like what I'm doing and stuff. So that is something that I'm really going to focus more on in 2023. But for 2022, let's catch up on some things that I did that I didn't really tell you about. First of all, I was featured in the Better Homes and Garden magazine. I will put footage somewhere showing that. This was a year-long process, and I have talked about it on my channel a couple times, but I never really showcased it. I think I showed it on Instagram and TikTok, but I got featured in a Better Homes and Garden magazine. It wasn't just a one-page feature either. It was the Meet the Maker feature, which was kind of like multiple pages of me and my business. And after that magazine came out, I did see some increase in orders, which I really didn't expect to see increase in orders, but people really do read that magazine, I guess. And it was really cool to see that. And I went to the what's it called? I went to Barnes and Noble and picked up a magazine, and it was so cool to see it on the shelves. And I actually had to make projects for them. It was like a year-long process. They contacted me a year in advance, so I made projects for them. I never showed you guys this because I was just kind of keeping my head down and working, and there was a lot of things I didn't record. So I made these little projects in a step-by-step process so that they could film it. So you see one candle in the photo shoot, but I actually made that candle multiple times during different steps in the process, and I even sent them some little props that they could use in their photo shoot because it was a dessert candle. So I sent them piping bags with like some wax inside, and so it turned out really nice. And that was one of my biggest accomplishments, I think, for 2022. I have it like framed in my storefront so that people can see that I was featured in a magazine. Another big one is I finished writing my book. This is not the book, by the way. This is just a catalog. I finished writing the book, and you can see CNT Publishing that my book is one of the up-and-coming books, and I even have a couple of pages in this catalog. You can see here. So I never really showcasing this to you guys, so I'm gonna do better at that because I put in a lot of work. And I think for me, I feel like I don't like talking much about myself, or I guess I feel kind of icky about talking about myself, which I shouldn't, because these are really cool things that I've accomplished, and I shouldn't feel embarrassed or weird about talking about my accomplishments. So let's get over that. So yay. And like I said, I did put this in an Instagram, a short video, but I never gave it its nice YouTube feature that it deserves, I think. So some fun facts about this book is I completely wrote the whole book, 200 pages. And the editors, of course, went in and made it sound nice, but there was no ghostwriter. Your girl wrote the whole book, and I took all of the photos, over 200 photos in this book by myself, and I did all of the projects. So the book is called A Complete Guide, Candle Craft, A Complete Guide, 23 Stylish Projects and Small Business Tips. But yeah, so here's the cover of it. Fun fact, this cover, I'm pretty sure I was probably crying when I took that because it was so late. I think it was probably like 3 or 4 in the morning or something crazy like that, and I was trying so hard to get this nice like cover photo. So I even took the cover photo shot, and each shot, I mean, it took me so long just to style each shot. And then we even have a little homage to my original latte candles there, and there's just a bunch of fun projects. There's more things in this book besides this that they didn't show, so you have to buy the book, but they did give you a kind of table of contents of every project that's in the book. So I'm very excited. This is going to be coming out in the spring. And another fun fact, so this is CNT Publishing, and you can see these are all of the books they publish. So this book is going to be on the shelves of stores. It's going to be on Amazon, where you can go to the bookstore and physically pick this up. I'm the very first Kindle book that they have ever published. So that is such an honor, and I'm hoping that their audience really enjoys it. So it's a lot of quilting type of things, fabric, sewing type of books that they do. They've done even some woodwork books, so all sorts of crafting books. And me, I am the very first candle maker to be published with CNT Publishing. Another thing that I am proud about is my blog. I don't talk about my blog enough, but I've had a blog ever since I first really started Winding with Candle. So I've on and off had blogs over the years. Even in 2018 when I first started posting, I had a blog, and it was originally on my Winding with Candles website, but then I kind of moved it off of there because I thought it'd be kind of weird to have the blog there. So then I had it on another site that was tied to Kajabi, but I really didn't want my blog on Kajabi, so I kind of wanted it self-hosted, mainly because in the future, if I run ads, which I did submit to Google AdSense to run ads on my blog, Kajabi doesn't allow ads. Like, they don't have a feature where you can allow like Google ads. So I was like, I gotta set my blog up to where I can be really in control of it. So last year I didn't even talk about this at all to you guys. I did move my blog to be self-hosted, so now I can run ads on it. And I just bought I invested in a new theme. So I'm on the back end right now changing the theme so that the blog posts, because there's a certain way I want the blog posts so that they're very easy to access and it looks appealing. So I'm changing up my blog to just look more appealing. So I went ahead and invested in a paid theme. I think it'll pay off in the long run. And another thing I'm proud about is in 2022, I took time to learn about blogging. So I followed people who were $1 million bloggers. I was like following their every move, and I do plan on purchasing some courses from some bloggers that I really have been following when I have time to do some courses. But I'm so proud of myself because I grew my Pinterest account. I have been playing with Pinterest for quite some time, and I kind of locked it down to where I have a good Pinterest strategy. And so my Pinterest now is really taking off. We've got 1,000 followers. We've got a ton of monthly views on there. And I never told y'all about this, but I have been working on my Pinterest profile. And when I went to go check my Google Analytics, I have about 30% conversion from Pinterest. So the reason I'm really focusing on Pinterest, because I am very afraid of social media as far as using it as my only platform. Like I've been telling y'all, I'm really into search engine optimization for like long-term business, because to me, social media comes and goes. Like views come and go. I definitely don't see as many views now that I used to see in 2020. So I know for a fact that I cannot rely on YouTube or any other social media to drive traffic. So this really is me I do still plan on posting and stuff like that, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm just going to use YouTube to drive traffic to my blog, because that would be insane. So yeah, there might be people that go to my blog from YouTube, but like Pinterest is not a social media platform. It's a search engine. So I have been working on there and figuring it out, and I plan on getting more and more people to drive traffic to my blog from Pinterest. And another nice thing I'm proud about is my blog is ranking now on page 1 of Google in the search term that I want it to rank on. So it is getting up there in search. So now I'm really confident that I can just go full force with my blog, and I do plan on putting some really informational, good content out there for you guys about running a candle business. And it's a lot of nice information. So I need to tell you guys about that because it's free info. Sorry, I got a phone call, so I totally forgot what I was talking about. But I was talking about my blog, and it's getting a lot more traffic, and it's very little traffic. It's not anything crazy. So to me, a blog is a little bit more safe than social media. Pinterest is a little bit more safe than social media, just because these things are search engines and they don't really rely on this algorithm of being popular or not. It's more so of having what people need at that time. So Pinterest is very evergreen. I still have pins that are viral on there that I posted several months ago. That are still getting hits to this day. So unlike YouTube, where things just kind of get you know, if you don't post constantly, then your views just kind of go down. So I'm definitely taking steps to kind of build that side of my business so that I'm not just relying on things like YouTube where I have to constantly show up. So I'm very proud of my blog. Go ahead and check it out if you want. I'm going to be revamping it, so it's going to look a little bit different in the next few weeks. And sign up for the monthly Flame newsletter, because I send a monthly like newsletter, and this is kind of like my year of, I think I've been doing it for a year, honestly, the monthly Flame. But like I said, I don't advertise it enough. I send out a monthly newsletter of just really valuable information. I talk about different tips. It'll be candle tips or business tips and stuff like that. So it's free, and sign up if you want to sign up for that newsletter. Some other cool things that happened in 2022 is I focused a lot more on wholesale, and I've been growing my wholesale accounts, and that is what I'm doing today, fulfilling some wholesale orders for an international client of mine and a new client. So just filling more wholesale orders. And this is my 4th quarter. So in January, so just a few days ago, this is my 4th quarter of being a fair top shop. That means I've been getting enough return customers, enough 5-star reviews, enough orders to be a fair top shop. So that is a huge accomplishment as well. So actually 2022 sounds in theory like I had a good year, but it was probably a big mess of a year just because I didn't have it all together and I didn't have like a main focus. Writing the book took a lot more time than I thought it would, and it was very, very time intensive. It was mentally stressful for me because I still had to run the rest of my business while trying to write this book. And so the first half of the year was extremely hard for me, and if you go back, I don't think I posted a whole bunch of content. And then right after I finished the book, I kind of went into like this downward spiral of just being exhausted. So there was like a few months where I was procrastinating. I didn't have any goals, and people were asking me to launch the academy. I hadn't even launched it in like a year at that point, and it was just kind of a mess for me as far as that. And it wasn't until towards like the end of the year where I started to kind of pick it back up, get out of my funk, and really start to think of ways that I can improve my business. So in 2020 and 2021, I made over 6 figures in those years. And then in 2022, I made about $85,000 in revenue. So it wasn't as lucrative as a year for me, but I will give myself some slack because I wrote a book. Like, that took a lot of time, and I did it by myself. I didn't have a team to help me take photos. I didn't have a team to help me think of the projects or execute the projects. I was literally doing the projects, you guys, and I had a little clicker, and I would do the projects and I would click, you know, to take photos, and I had to make sure the lighting was good, and it was a very long process. And of course I had revisions and things to fix and all of this other stuff. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself. That was very hard to do. And I know that it will be worth it in the end because I will be a published author, which will be exciting. So at first I was really upset about how the year went, as far as like, it was just kind of a mess for me. I didn't really have any goals for selling candles in my storefront. I just kind of like had my storefront open. I didn't do many events, and also just learning how to run a storefront is a whole different beast. So I've gotten a little more into, I'll have to do a whole video about it, but running a storefront there's a lot to learn. And so I've gotten a lot more involved with my community, and just thinking about where I want to go in the future with the storefront, if I want to stay in this location, if I want to move when my lease is up, or if I need a storefront, like if I want one at all. So those are still things I'm thinking about, and this is going to be the last year where I really think about that and see what happens. So plans for 2023, like we discussed, I'm going to put myself out there more and talk about what I'm doing. So I have a podcast that people enjoy. Someone emailed me earlier and they said they really enjoyed my podcast, and they wanted to know if I offer SEO courses. And it's so funny because in the car this morning, I was like, I need to offer just an SEO course, because so many people think that social media is the only way to sell things. I'm going to be releasing an SEO course, and I kind of thought of it this morning, and then someone emailed me and she was like, do you have an SEO course? And I was like, oh my gosh, I can totally do that, because I feel like I'm so confident in my SEO skills. I've proven that time and time again. I know how to get things ranked in search. So I'm definitely going to take that portion of the academy, because we do have an SEO like course in there, like lesson, and I'll make just a separate course like SEO Mastermind or something like that. But anyways, and I'm going to advertise the content I create a lot more. So either if it's free content or paid content, I really need to be better at advertising what I create, because I put so much time into these things and a lot of people don't know they exist because I don't talk about them enough. So down below, you can look at my podcast. You can look at my blogs. Those things are kind of like, I'm still working on getting more content on those platforms, but I do have some information there. So I had a guy come into the store yesterday who has a radio show, and I would have never thought to advertise on the radio, and it was fairly inexpensive. And he was telling me for $200 I can get 3-month advertisement, and it'll run 8 times a day on the radio. And I was like, yeah, that's not bad. So something I'm planning on doing this year is just doing more advertising, local advertising, trying to figure out ways on how to bring people into the storefront. It's a whole different beast than online. So I'm having to work a lot more with the community to get my products and my business out there. And also I am working on my other sales channels. So with Amazon and Wholesale, I have been silently working on those two, and Wholesale is doing really, really good. And I've done videos about that. You can watch my fair videos. Like, it's good information. There's no videos about fair wholesale. So if you want to learn about fair, watch my dang videos on it, you guys, because so many people shy away. And I've had comments where people are like, I was so scared of fair because I've heard about the fees and blah, blah, blah. And then when I joined, they were like, oh, I love it here. So please watch those videos. If you are hesitant on Wholesale or whatever, watch them so that you can get insight, because I've been doing it for a year over there on Fair, and it's a great platform. Also Amazon, I've been looking more into making sales on there. I've kind of realized where I need to be in the Amazon marketplace and creating products around what people are searching for, different niches within Amazon. And I've gotten some good sales on some ideas that I've had over there. So I'm going to keep working on those ideas. Some other things I'm working on is some live selling. I've experimented with live selling, and it does really, really well for the amount of time you're on live stream. So I'm going to do that some more, and also making more of a variety of candles. So those are some things that I have planned this year. So making a variety of candles, mainly for Wholesale and these other platforms like Amazon and stuff, because I know how to research the gaps in the market and create products around what people are searching for. So I'm looking to kind of step in and make more variety of candles. So I'm still going to keep dessert candles around, but my tagline for my business is unique handmade. So I'm still going to make some really unique items that kind of correlate with my business, but they're not necessarily all going to be dessert candles. So look out for some exciting new candles coming up. But anyways, I'm feeling really, really good about 2023. I have some things lined up, and I can't wait for the launch of my book. I hope that you guys love the book. It's going to come out in the spring, so I'm really excited for that. And let me know your plans for 2023, and if there's anything else you want me to talk about. I'm definitely going to talk more about running a storefront. I have gotten so many requests for that, so I'm going to be making more videos about that. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, and Happy New Year. And until next time, bye guys.